Hi, Vicki Vidalia here. Tonight I'm having the supper club over. We live in a high-rise and we have a group of friends. We get together once a month and it's our month to host. So tonight I'm making a little bit more of a carby dish, which I normally don't do, but for guests it's really fun, and it's a casserole, so I can just heat it up right before they get here, and then I'm not in the kitchen the whole time. I am making a Poblano Casserole, and it is to die for. I'm gonna make two versions. One is with meat and one is for vegetarian. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up these poblano peppers into little slices because I'm gonna be adding the casserole on top. So I'm just gonna make pieces like this. Okay, as you can see, I have lined the bottom of the pan and I'm gonna bake this at 350 for about 15 minutes. While that is baking, I'm going to start my cauliflower rice. Now this is my way of making this dish a little bit healthier and less carby, and cauliflower is so good for you. So I've already preheated this pan. I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil, and then I've bought bagged riced cauliflower. I've got my olive oil. This olive oil is organic, it's from Aldi. It's a really good value and very tasty, so I highly recommend it. And then these are my bag of cauliflower rice. I believe these are from Aldi as well. Now the reason I'm putting this in the skillet is for some reason, I haven't quite figured this out yet, it actually, if you just saute it and get it a little bit brown, it tastes more like rice. It gets more of a texture of rice. So it's kind of like my little secret. Okay, now while that's going, I shucked this earlier, and if you want to know how to shuck corn, I've got a video called Medusa Corn that shows how to shuck corn. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and I have a serrated knife, which I think works the best. Fresh corn is really delicious in this recipe, but if you don't have access to fresh corn, you can always use frozen. Or if you don't want the carbs, you can take that out. Drained out 2 cans of tomatoes. One is a fire roasted tomato. The other one is diced tomato with chilies in it. And I'm just going to add that to the corn mixture. A can of black beans. And I've rinsed the black beans because they have a ton of sodium on them, so it's better to rinse them off. I'm going to add that, and plus there's juice in the can. We've got the tomatoes, the corn, and the beans. Just going to gently mix that together. This will become our filling. Oh, it smells really good. And also, I forgot to mention this. I already took ground beef, and you can use Italian sausage, or you can use pork sausage, or just ground beef, or just pork sausage, or whatever you want. I already sauteed that, and so that's ready to go. I just did that for the sake of time. And then also for the sake of time, I have this minced garlic. So I'm gonna put in about 3 little spoonfuls. 1, 2, this smells like garlic. Oh my goodness, 3, okay. I'm just gonna gently mix that in as well. And then I am going to turn over the cauliflower rice. And since it's frozen, it's going to take a little bit of time to cook. But basically, I'm just making one layer and I'm sauteing, or like searing it almost. Just keep it on the pan. I've got the stove on my medium-high, probably medium-high if you really want to sear the bottom. Okay, so it calls for Monterey Jack cheese. I couldn't find any at the store, so I'm just using a fiesta, I think it's called Mexican cheese, that you use for tacos. And I'm gonna mix in about maybe 2.5 handfuls of this. Maybe that's 2.5 cups, I'm not really sure. I like to eyeball a lot of this because, I don't know, just more fun. So you can see, doesn't that look amazing? And then I make my own taco seasoning. So I'm gonna put some taco seasoning in there. I will put the recipe in the description for you for this seasoning, and I'm trying to find it. What I did, but there it is. And it's made with cumin and chili powder and garlic, and it's really delicious. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this on top. I don't know if you can see that. Mix that together. No, I didn't pre-cook the corn because it's fresh corn and it's delicious. So I kind of like it a little bit on the crispy side. So mix that. And of course, while we're doing this, the peppers are in the oven. Now I already pre-made 2 pans. One is with no cilantro, one is with cilantro, and one is vegetarian. Because we have a large dinner party, 9 friends coming over tonight, that everybody has different dietary needs. And I really try as the host to accommodate. In a casserole, it's really easy to do that. So I'm gonna flip the cauliflower. It's not quite seared yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on a high. And then while that's cooking, I'm gonna add the ground beef. I did ground beef and ground pork. I love Italian sausage in this meal. But this is what I had in the freezer, so I'm going with it. So it's already been cooked. And I'm just gonna add that right to there. And I've already drained out the fat. I do like to keep a little bit of fat because that's really where a lot of the flavor is. So I'm mixing that. Doesn't that look amazing? And then I've already set aside a little bowl for the vegetarian. And basically you're just gonna do this without putting the meat in. The cauliflower rice is ready. I don't know if you can see. See how it's just a little bit brown from searing the bottom, and that's just perfect. If you want to, you can add a little bit of butter. And I'm gonna do that for the vegetarian. I'm gonna go ahead and serve that one without the butter. Okay. And I'm just gonna add just a little bit of butter. This is from the farmer's market. This butter is really delicious. I think we got this is from Pierce's Farms. So while that butter is mixing with the rice, the poblano peppers are almost done. It's gonna be so good. Oh, I wish you could smell the poblanos are cooking. Oh, it's so nice. Okay. All right, that's ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to. I really love cauliflower rice. So often you can't tell. My son, for a while, I was trying to sneak it in his diet, and it took him a while to figure out that there was something different. And then finally he was like, "Mom, I know you're doing cauliflower rice." And I was like, "Oh, I'm busted." I'm like, is it okay? And he's like, "Yeah, it's fine." So, but every once in a while he wants rice, and that I totally get that. Okay, there's the mixture. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more taco seasoning. I'm probably at about, and you should taste it really, but I'm probably at about at least a tablespoon now. And I like to just keep adding until it tastes good. That's pretty good. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Taste that one more time. You know, tasting your food is super important. If you watch all those chef shows and they always, it's like, there's not enough salt. It's like, well, did you taste it? Hello? But I know that's something I would do. Because you get your cooking is so fun, but it's like, there's so many steps. Okay, that was really good. Okay, it looks like the poblano peppers are done. So I'm gonna take them out of the oven. I actually think I'm gonna put these in for another 5 minutes. One of the peppers that I did earlier is ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to stuff it. Hands out hot. So literally, just see if there's layers of the peppers. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the filling on top. There's some prep work to this, but what's so nice is, like I said, when your guests arrive, you're good to go. You're not standing in the kitchen. You're just putting it in the oven and baking it. Just really kind of cool. Oh, that looks so good. I'll show you how that looks. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and I'm gonna put some cheese on top. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna bake it. So as I mentioned before, I'm gonna do one with cilantro, one without cilantro, and one without meat. So 3 different casseroles. Now usually if I put cilantro in a glass of water, I've already washed this. If I put cilantro in a glass of water, it stays really crisp, but this one got a little wilty, but it's going in the mix, so it doesn't matter. And if you take the very tip off, there's not a lot of stems, you don't have to worry about it. A little trick there. I'm probably gonna do about maybe like 2 tablespoons of cilantro. Cilantro is a great detoxer for the body. So, but some people really just absolutely do not like it. I love it. Okay. So I'm gonna put that in my mixture. And really the key is gonna be to remember which one has the cilantro in it. But my friends will know for sure. So I just added the cilantro, and that's gonna add a really nice flavor to the casserole. Okay, now I'm gonna do the vegetarian one. Now remember, you don't have to do this. You know, obviously I'm just doing this to show you different versions and for the fact that I have people coming tonight. This is for my friend Zoe. This will be her own personal casserole. Okay, and sprinkle some cheese on that. I also bought some sour cream because I thought that might be fun on top. Okay, there's the vegetarian one. Woohoo! I just remembered I didn't put any cilantro, and I'm pretty sure she would like some cilantro. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that. Okay, look at that. Yay! Okay, we're back. The oven, for some reason, got turned off, so I had to wait for the peppers to cook. But now they're done, so this is the final casserole that we're gonna make. This is the one with the cilantro. This looks so good. Now we're gonna bake it, and I can't wait to show it to you. Oh, and one more thing I have to show you is I did a video on a field trip that I went on at Northwind Perennial Farm. And I have to show you what I bought. They have this big barn with a store inside of it. Look what I bought. I mean, how cute is that? Isn't that fun? And I just put some basil in it because we eat so much basil. So anyway, if you get a chance to go out to Northwind Perennial Farm, it's such a neat place. I'll see you after we take the casseroles out of the oven. Bon appetit! Okay, the casserole's about ready to come out of the oven and my guests are about to arrive. It's a supper club, as I was mentioning before, and everybody brings something. So the theme of my supper club was fiesta. And so one of my friends is bringing a salad, somebody's bringing rice, somebody's bringing watermelon, somebody's bringing margaritas, somebody's bringing chips and salsa, and then somebody's bringing an appetizer. So I'm super excited about this type of dinner party because all I had to do was the entree. Oh, of course I did make a little gazpacho in the beginning, but that was something I made yesterday. So anyway, okay, here come the casseroles. Okay, first is the vegetarian. Okay, second is non-cilantro. Oh, that's my dog. And the third is the cilantro. And the reason I know it's cilantro is I put a little sprig on top, just so I wouldn't forget. Now all I need are the guests